विभाषति गौरभक्तवृन्द श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौरभक्तवृन्द Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Rama
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Welcome all for the Nitya Bhagavata sessions. Today we will connect from Canto 5, Chapter 14, Text 35 from His Grace. Haridev Krishna Prabhu. Prabhuji, over to you.
Thank you, Prabhu. We welcome all of you for the discussion on Srimad Bhagavatam. We'll start with the prayers. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udirayet Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavate Rottama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nandagopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Hare Krishna. So I seek the blessings of all devotees before we begin. So we are reciting from 5th canto, 14th chapter, 35th shloka. This is only a one-line shloka. The chapter is entitled as The Material World as the Great Forest of Enjoyment. Kvachinmito vyavaharan yat kinchid dhanam upayati vitta shatyena. We'll recite it again. Kvachinmito vyavaharan yat kinchid dhanam upayati vitta shatyena. Word to word meaning, translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Kvachit, sometimes or somewhere. Mitha vyavaharan, transacting with each other. Yet, whatever, kinchit, little bit, dhanam, material benefit or wealth, upayati, he obtains, vitta, shatyena, by means of cheating someone of his wealth. Translation. Sometimes conditioned souls exchange money, but in due course of time, enmity arises because of cheating. Although there may be a tiny profit, the conditioned souls cease to be friends and become enemies. Purport. As stated in Srimad Bhagavatam, 5th canto, 5th chapter, 8th shloka. Pumsa striya mithuni bhavametam tayormito hridaya grantim ahuhu. Ato graha kshetra sutapta vittair janasya mohoyam aham mameti. The monkey-like conditioned soul first becomes attached to sex, and when intercourse actually takes place, he becomes more attached. He then requires some material comforts: apartment, house, food, friends, wealth, and so on. In order to acquire these things, he has to cheat others, and this creates enmity even amongst most intimate friends. Sometimes this enmity is created between the conditioned soul and the father or spiritual master. Unless one is firmly fixed in regulative principles, one may perform mischievous acts, even if one is a member of the Krishna consciousness movement. We therefore advise our disciples to strictly follow the regulative principles. Otherwise, the most important movement for the upliftment of humanity will be hampered due to dissension among its members. Those who are serious about pushing forward this Krishna consciousness movement should remember this and strictly follow the regulative principles so that their minds will not be disturbed. Hare Krishna. We'll recite prayers and then begin. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsya श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगना रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगना ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमः ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिन्निति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे नमो महावदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नामने गौरवत्विषे नमः हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी श्री राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Hare Krishna. So again, I seek the blessings of all the devotees before we begin to discuss on this shloka. So continuing with this theme that is going on, a forest of material world as a forest of enjoyment. So here the example is given on how the conditioned souls exchange money So Prahalad Maharaj also says money is like honey, like that. Why money is considered so important? Because we all know that in the uh, ancient times, it was dharma. Through dharma, people would want to get artha, or wealth. And why do they want artha? Because of the unlimited desires or kama in to enjoy this material world. And they feel the more I have, then the more I can enjoy. So people are mad after money. Uh, at least there, through dharma, they would want artha. Mm. That is why we have different shastras, dharma shastras, then we have artha shastra. So, uh, when it comes to wealth, many people, uh, as they go away from dharma, they see that wealth can be acquired through many other means. Like Charvak Muni, he said that famous thing. Uh, Beg, borrow, or steal, no worries, but you should always eat ghee because this life is very short. So one should try to enjoy to the fullest extent, for which one needs to consume ghee and enjoy, like that, he used to say. So that is an atheistic or wanting money without consideration of dharma. And in Kali Yuga, needless to say, that mm, uh, there is mm, uh, there is only such kind of cheating going on. Srila Prabhupada would say sometimes the capitalist means very straightforward, they're saying. We are in a dog fight. So whoever has might will get more money. Might is right, like that. So there they openly say it's a struggle for existence, like that. So each one is trying to cheat another, overpower another, like that. So then some people say, no, this capitalism is wrong. Then communism is very correct, like that. Why? Because they say you are equally dividing wealth into to all people, like that. So Srila Prabhupada said both capitalism and communism is kind of thievery only. Mm. Like I was hearing one of the lectures where it was said, honesty among thieves. What is honesty among thieves? Let us say some thieves, they decide to steal in a big bungalow and they have looted everything. Now they are sitting and they're honestly dividing the wealth that they have stolen amongst each other. What kind of honesty it is? Nothing very appreciable, because first of all they were doing something wrong, which was stealing God's property. I mean, stealing bungalow or the rich man's property. In the same way, Prabhupada would also say that we should talk about spiritual communism, not this mundane communism. Um, and why that is also kind of thievery, because it is stealing God's property and then distributing it equally amongst the thieves, but not giving anything back to God itself. So that is the way how this world is going on. And here they said sometimes conditioned souls, they exchange money. But in due course of time, enmity arises because of cheating. Although there may be a tiny profit, the conditioned souls cease to be friends and become enemies. So, uh, Radhesham Prabhu was giving an example of how the honeybees, if you observe how the honeybees are sucking nectar, or nectar, while doing that, they have two activities. One is to gather as much nectar as possible, but they're also very much worried that for me to get all the nectar, I should make sure that my friends who are sitting on right and left side, or my neighbors, they should not be able to suck the nectar. So what they do, they uh, they suck the nectar, and parallelly after one or two gulps of that sucking nectar. Next, what they do, they go and sting the neighbors so that the neighbors are injured and they can't suck like that. So this is how in material world everyone is trying to uh, uh, trouble others. He wants money and he wants to possess all the wealth uh, because he feels more the wealth I have, more I can have facility for enjoyment. And in order to do that, he sometimes make sure along with him working hard trying to accumulate wealth, he tries to sting others. And what is the sting? That also we were looking in the previous verses, that spreading false rumors about a person, unnecessarily pulling down a person, making a small mistake into a big one in order to uh, uh, tarnish the image of that person. So these are like the bees stinging, like that. Why? All for getting a tiny profit. One is unable to see that for this small profit, what is the karma that he is accumulating. As Rishabhadev also says to his children, Nunam pramattam kurute vikarmaha indriya priti apnoti. The living entity, out of madness for sense gratification, kurute vikarmaha, he does many sinful activities. For what? Indriya priti apnoti. For just for fulfilling his sensual desires, like that. Just like when a tree is hale and healthy, because it has lot of energy, and it's greenish, and it can produce fruits, seeds, etc. Same way, when a living entity, his body is hale and healthy, he is in the prime of his youth, and he feels that now I have enough intelligence, I have enough strength, etc. So with all that, if one is not Krishna conscious, then with all that he will try to commit lot of sinful activities. And just like the tree produces seeds and fruits, the living entity by his karma produces many fruits, karma phala, and seeds. And what are those seeds? The seeds are the proclivity to perform the same sinful activity again, which we call as bijam. And so this is all happening for a small, tiny profit. Like needless to say, sometimes in the office, if there is a mm, possibility of 2 or 3 people being sent to foreign for some project, then everyone wants to try to impress the boss. They will try to uh, make a list of all the good work they have done. Slowly, they'll try to spread some rumors about other competitors so that that person doesn't get into, etc. Sometimes they may even bribe the person, all for tiny profit, like that. So, in fact, in Kali Yuga, the biggest problem is that the age of quarrel and hypocrisy. So quarrel. Why quarrel? Because one of the defects of the living entity is cheating propensity. And because each one wants to try to cheat others, because there is hypocrisy, then there is also quarrel, like that. So sometimes in the Krishna conscious society, Maya Devi understands that Prabhupada's movement is very pure. Those who practice purely can never be touched by Maya. So Maya has another way to infiltrate the devotee camp and try to separate the devotees. And what is that way? Instead of coming together, uh, in the Bhagavatam, it is said, Machitta Madgata Prana, Bodhayanta Parasparam, Katayantascha Mam Nityam, Tushyanti cha Ramanti cha. The devotees, they should come together. For what? For discussing Krishna Katha, Machitta, Madgata Prana, Bodhayanta Parasparam. When they do that, all of them are happy. Tushyanti cha Ramanti cha. But sometimes Maya has a way to infiltrate the devotee camp. And how does Maya try to come in? Through financial transactions. Two devotees come together. They say, let us do some business together. Let us do some project together, let us invest together, something like that. And such cases, one has to be extremely Krishna conscious and careful, because eventually what is going to happen, that same small finance or business together, or let's do some project together, right? And from that, the devotees become so uh, uh, lifelong type of enemies. Sometimes there may be a small, both may have even good intentions, but their initial calculations on what is to be the future uh, is not how actually it unfolds. They may both have invested hoping something will come up, but eventually one might have pressurized a person for an idea to be implemented. And that idea, if it works, well and good, both are happy. And if it doesn't, then although both agreed, generally the other person feels cheated. Oh, he forced me. I was not very convinced. So, like this. And then lifelong they become inimical. And not just inimical to that devotee, but to the entire community of devotees. And then it becomes very easy. Maya can easily attack, just like that story, how when all the cows, although they were not very strong, when they were united, the lion could not harm them. But what the lion started doing, the lion called one cow, and he started gossiping wrong things, that see, when you all are grazing, the other cows eat the fresh grass and leave only the leftovers for you, like that. So then, like this, he started gossiping and spreading rumors, negativities. uh, so same thing Maya does. Maya comes, just like the lion, right? Durga Devi is one of her Vahan is also the lion. So in the same way, Maya Devi comes in midst of cow-like devotees who are supposed to be very gentle, and uh, gives some idea. And then once the idea is given, then it starts spreading rumors. See, this person is trying to take more profit, etc. Like that. So for a so we have to also be very careful about the menace of money. Mm, Even if two people have good intentions, sometimes there is a misunderstanding lifelong. And needless to say, if we are not very Krishna conscious, we may not even have good intentions. We will have cheating propensity. So, for a tiny profit, like one devotee was asking, it seems, he wanted to shift close to the temple, and another devotee was kind of broker kind in some congregation. So then he asked Prabhuji, I want to come close to temple. Then he asked, what is the budget? So he said, they are quoting around 48 lakhs when I inquired, but my budget is around 40 lakhs, like that. Then this brokerage kind of person, devotee, he said, don't worry, I'll get it done for 40 lakhs. And he got the flat. He was very happy. But then he later on got to know that actually the actual price was 36 lakhs, because some other devotees had purchased it for 36 lakhs. And this person, instead of taking 1% or 2% as brokerage commission, has taken 4 lakhs, which is like 10% as brokerage commission. And then there was a war. And that other devotee who had taken a lot of commission, he said, Prabhu, you had told your budget was 40 lakhs, and I showed you the house. You are satisfied with the house. Uh, so, uh, what is wrong? I took my extra commission, like that. And he said, Prabhuji, this, but I thought you are a devotee. You will not cheat. Outside, when they charge 2%, as devotee, you could have taken 2%, or maybe little less also, but not 10%, like that. And there was this one. And why was this? All for a tiny profit, like that. So even those who are very close friends eventually become enemies. And Prabhupada is uh, telling here the root cause of all this is because of the attachment for sex life. Sex life is the beginning of material existence. We can see in every pastime, when Ajamila got attracted to prostitute, in order to satisfy the prostitute, he started stealing. And when Ratnakar was trying to maintain the wife and children, he also started to cheat and loot people like that. So why does person want more and more wealth? Because he knows the root cause is sex desire. In order to satisfy that, one needs to get married, and then one needs to provide all facilities for wife, children, and then his whole meda becomes griha meda, thinking how to keep them happy so that my enjoyment can go on in an uninterrupted way. So, what is grahastha ashram? Grahastha means sometimes uh, people say, can I be at home without getting married? Then Prabhupada would also say, Grahastha means not just that you stay in home. The first thing is you get married, because otherwise, why do you need a home? If you're a bachelor, you can stay in the temple also. The home is only to maintain the wife, children, etc. like that. So the monkey-like conditioned soul, first through sex desire, becomes more attached, and then in order to continue his uh, constant getting of enjoyment from them, he tries to satisfy all of his family, relatives, friends, etc., by material comforts in the form of apartment, food, friends, wealth, etc. And in order to acquire them quickly, he tries to cheat others and create enmity, even amongst intimate friends. And Prabhupada is saying here, sometimes the enmity is created between conditioned soul and the father. We can see in Aurangzeb's case, right? He imprisoned father, grandfather. He even killed his own brothers just for wealth, like that. And it is said even between father and son, and sometimes even the spiritual master, like that. So, um, there are many pseudo gurus who try to cheat the disciple, and disciple tries to cheat the guru. It is very common. Many of them openly say today that many of the mutts are operating and many donations are coming because most of the political people want to convert black money into white money. So they are trying to use the spiritual master for cheating the government. And sometimes it so happens that the cheating spiritual master tries to loot the disciples' wealth. So they put the donation, they say, Swamiji, you take some percentage, and remaining you give it as white money to us. But sometimes when they put donation, entire thing is looted by the spiritual master, and then the person is cheated, like that. So like that also, many cases are there where big funds are transferred to some mutts, hoping politicians hoping they'll get back the money, but once given, person said, once donated, sorry, I can't give back, like that. So this is the way, the place of cheaters and cheated. Like Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur gives that famous story of how a prostitute, she wanted to wash off all her sins and beget a very Krishna conscious child. So she thought, let me go to Vrindavan. I will dress myself as a devotee, and try to impress some sadhu there, and eventually get married to the sadhu and beget a Krishna conscious child, like that. So the prostitute went to Vrindavan wanting to cheat a sadhu. And then there was another woman hunter who was very sinful. He was thinking that I want to actually enjoy more women, and there are many pious women coming to Vrindavan. So I will dress myself like a sadhu, and when pious women come, then uh, seeing my spiritual nature, they may get attracted, and eventually I may enjoy with them, and my desire will be satisfied, like that. So like this, he went. A thief went and disguised himself as a sadhu, and a prostitute went and disguised herself like a spiritual seeker. and both met in Vrindavan, and both got married, and both were happy and thinking, I cheated the other person. Only after they realized that both were cheating each other and none of them actually got benefited. So, this is how in this world it goes on. And Prabhupada is then warning all the devotees. Unless one is firmly fixed in regulative principles, one may perform mischievous acts, even if one is a member of the Krishna conscious movement. So, we see so many people wanting to start their own movements, using the uh, facilities, property, etc., given to them on behalf of Srila Prabhupada and Krishna, like that. So, Prabhupada is saying that even in Krishna conscious things, unless we are very firmly fixed in regulative principles, these mischievous acts we may also perform. And therefore, we advise our disciples to strictly follow the regulative principles. Otherwise, what will happen? This most important movement, which is for the upliftment of humanity, will be hampered due to dissension amongst its members. And those who are serious about pushing forward this Krishna conscious movement should remember this and strictly follow regulative principles so that their minds shall not be disturbed. So Prabhupada is warning us in the end. um, just like I remember long ago there was one TV advertisement on some M-Seal ad where there were some leakage of water like that. So one old person was on his deathbed, and then uh, there were two of his children waiting for him to die, but they were also eager that before he dies, he transfer all the property. So both children went with the will and they said, Papa, add one more zero to me to be transferred. One more zero, like that. And finally, they added enough zeros and he signed and he died. And when he was about to die, there was some leakage of water, and that water went and um, uh, went exactly and hit the first one. It was like one followed by many, many zeros. So the one got erased and it were only 000. And then they were lamenting, oh, my father is dead now. I can't get him alive and add that one again, like that. So, in the same way, everyone, even between father and son, sometimes the child may be waiting when my father will die so that I can enjoy all the property. And even in spiritual circles, one may be waiting when my spiritual master will pass away so that I become the next Matadipati and all the property will be under my control, like that. So, even in the Leelamrit, you will see Prabhupada warning during his last days that some people are waiting for me to pass away, like that. So, this way, the kind of uh, negativity can come if we are not serious in Krishna consciousness. The whole Mahabharat is battle for money, greed of Duryodhan. Between relatives, he was ready to kill relatives, like that. That way. The Shamantaka Mani pastime, where there was so much misunderstanding between Satrajit, and Satrajit started uh, spreading false rumors about Krishna, because Satrajit was very attached to money, and when his brother Prasena carried the Shamantaka money, initially Lord Krishna requested, please hand over the Shamantaka money to King Ugrasena, because any wealth should be given to the king, like that. Satrajit was refusing. And his brother Prasena once wore the Shamantaka money and went to the forest to show off his wealth. And when he wanted to show off his wealth, he was killed by a lion. But Satrajit, what did he think? He thought Krishna was insisting me to hand over the Shamantaka money, and I did not. And because of that, Krishna was eager for Shamantaka money, therefore he killed my brother Prasena, like that. So then he started spreading false rumors about Krishna, saying Krishna only has killed my brother for Shamantaka money. Then Krishna goes to the forest, finds out Prasena is dead, finds out that Shamantaka money is with Jambavan, fights with him, gets back the Shamantaka money, hands it over to Satrajit. So money can cause so much menace, and then Shamantaka, then Satrajit says, gives the Shamantaka money back to Krishna as a gift because he's ashamed, because he thought the world is a mirror of our consciousness. Because Satrajit was attached to money, he thought everybody else is also attached to money, like that. So therefore, he started spreading false rumors about Krishna. Even Prabhupada would say, Atmavat manyate jagat. Everyone thinks the whole world is like me only. If one person is lusty, even if another person, let us say this person is talking to some girl out of lust, if he sees another person talking, he may think that fellow is lusty also. Why? Because he thinks that everyone is lusty like him, like that. So the world is mirror of our consciousness. That way. So same way, one is greedy, thinking about money. If somebody else is getting money, we think, oh, he's also greedy like me, like that. So, okay, so one can pray to Krishna. Therefore, it is said that that Lakshmi which comes by the grace of Narayana can alone keep a person happy. And what is that Lakshmi that comes by the grace of Narayana? That which is in the path of Dharma. So Durga Devi also gives lot of material opulence. Lakshmi ji also gives lot of opulence. But what is the difference? Durga Devi can give opulence very quickly. Uh, and only thing is that will not keep the person happy. Same way we see, moment we go against dharma and try to enjoy money, that money cannot give us happiness. We see people cheating and getting money, and when we see their children will be fighting amongst themselves because uh, the father is so greedy about money. He's always thinking about money. And because of his consciousness, his children will also always be greedy. And now father has big property. And even in presence of his living, in his living also, when he's living, he's able to see both children can't get along each other. And they're quarreling like cats and dogs because they are also greedy for the money of the father. So he has money, but that money did not give him happiness or peace of mind. Many places we see big politicians, others who are cheating others, they're not at all happy in their life because it is not by dharma. They have wealth, but no happiness. Durga's wealth will only produce suffering. But when Lakshmi gives wealth, that will give one happiness and satisfaction, like that. So we can also pray to the lordships that our conditioned nature does not uh, come out. And a greatest challenge for the devotee is that we will have to deal with outside people who are of cheating mentality. But what should be the mood of a devotee? One should be shrewd and intelligent not to get cheated, but one should not think, okay, anyway, they are trying to cheat me, I will also try to cheat them. When being a devotee, we this verse is not just applicable for our dealing with devotees, it is also applicable for dealing with the outside world. Let us say that that person tried to cheat. If we outsmart and cheat that person, then we may have made some profit, but that profit will not give us happiness. Therefore, it is said, one of the even if one is doing business as a Vaishya, one can take profits, but that profit should not be very unreasonable. It can't be like 500% profit of or what it is, like that. Okay. If normally people take 10 rupees, taking 12 rupees is okay, but not uh, 20 rupees or 30 rupees, like that. So one should pray to the Lordships to give us the Sadbuddhi and be in touch with Prabhupada's books also regularly and pray that we don't. Because when we deal with outside people, we see so much of their cheating mentality, but we should just protect ourselves, but not get their mentalities into our dealings, even with outsiders. Forget about getting it in amongst devotees. So, very big challenge for grahasthas. But by being in touch with Srimad Bhagavatam and taking shelter of acharyas, we can somehow have a hope that we be protected from these negative influences. And finally, when one wants to go back to Godhead, Prabhupada said, one should not have even one single enemy. One should be Ajata Shatru. Nobody should have grudge. And uh, for small, tiny profits, we create grudges among so many people and think that I have outsmarted that person. But finally, in the end, if they hold grudges against us, then for whatever little profit we have got extra is of no use. Yes, sometimes when they try to cheat, when we are cautious and when we try to safeguard our interest, and the other person was unable to cheat, still he may hold grudges against us. Oh, he didn't allow me to cheat. But that is not considered a mistake. That Krishna will pardon because he knows that you never were at fault. In fact, that other person will be at fault, not us. But from our side, we should make sure that we don't fall prey to this. So, with this, I would like to end, seeking your blessing so that I also follow what I shared. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Haridev Krishna. I would request the devotees to unmute, and if they have any questions, inputs, or comments, please okay. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavat Pranams. Thanks for the detailed description of the degrading conditions of the material world. But I have some doubts, Prabhu. I see some families, like devotees getting cheated, even though they know that they are getting cheated because of their affection for the family members. So is it correct or not, Prabhu? And allowing the others to cheat you. So should we, is that correct or not? And second is, if you are already cheated by some other persons and you come to know later, what should be the devotee's mood, Prabhu?
Very nice question. So, of course, devotee is always cautious that he does not want to get cheated. So, it is okay to, for the purpose of safeguarding one's interest, if you are knowing that one is cheated. Now, out of affection, if he is voluntarily willing to get, I would say it is a decision which is not so correct because uh, later uh, everyone has a threshold limit. Now, even initially we may say, okay, then finally that same person who we initially had affection, it may eventually become grudge towards that person. So, even amongst family members, uh, sometimes one is seeing that he's cheating. It is always correct to safeguard oneself and educate that other person, because affection means also making sure that whoever we are affectionate for, we are guiding them on the path of dharma. We know that story where one aunt was taking care of a child, and every time he would steal and come, the aunt would say, very nice, oh, so smart, you stole this, very good, like that. Eventually he became a big thief and he was caught by the police, and police wanted to hang him to death for all the murders and the robbery that he had done. So that time they asked, do you have any final wish? So he said, I want my aunt to come, I want to say, tell her some secret. So then the aunt came, kept her ears near the bars, and this person bit her ears so badly. She cried. She asked, "Why did you do this?" And he said, "When I was making a mistake, instead of me being corrected, you were appreciating me. Had you corrected and done your responsibility properly, probably I would have reformed also. You encouraged me like that." So you should never encourage people uh, doing like that. Oh, that is, I think, the right course. And for the second one, Mataji, if we get to know that we are cheated, now uh, we can first always clarify, ask some seniors how to proceed. If the amount is very big and you feel it is unreasonable, then through seniors, through some mediation, one can always get it done amongst the devotees. And if that other person is not for mediation, etc., then sometimes even amongst devotees, unfortunately, there have been some legal battles, etc. But one should know also that for what it is it. If it is for a small amount, and then we see that that person is also undergone some loss and he's repenting, he's begging forgiveness. Now it is a decision that we need to take. Should I waste my time, his time? Already he is struggling so much with so many losses. Let us uh, forget it like that. But if it is a big one and if we feel that it is unreasonable, then it's a very tough one. Case by case, one needs to analyze, I would say, that way. So, with the consultation of senior devotees, I think we can get to know what is the right course of action.
Thank you, Prabhu. Wonderful answer. And nice to know about that story, Prabhu, so that I can also tell others. So the basic principle is every one of us should try to set the dharma, no, Prabhu. Even if it gets us into their bad books, I think we should set to get it
Yes,
in.
correct.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Dandavat.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam.
Namo Pranam.
Prabhu, you said about the Chakravaka Muni, beg, borrow, steal and eat tea. I didn't understand. Like what?
Oh, yeah. Charvak Muni, his philosophy is that he propounded an atheistic philosophy where he said, um, see, this human life is very short. Life is short, live it sweet. So you should get the best possible enjoyment in your short lifespan. And what is the best possible enjoyment? Daily you should eat ghee. But ghee may be costly. Don't worry. If it's very difficult for you to buy, you can always beg. You don't have to work hard to get that. If nobody is giving you, then borrow from somebody. Otherwise, steal it from someone. Ultimately, we will have to satisfy our senses. That is the goal. And for that, you can do anything. That was what his philosophy was: beg, borrow, or steal, like that. But always take only ghee. That means for the topmost material enjoyment, you can do anything, no problem.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Dandavat.
Somebody else has a question.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu, Dandavat Pranams. Saraswati Mataji's question, Prabhu, in the last question you were answering, I missed it, Prabhu. Can you just repeat that, Prabhu, whatever she asked?
Amongst devotees, if somebody has cheated, then I said one could always consult senior Vaishnavas and see. And then if the amount is very small and the devotee who has cheated is also repenting and he has undergone a lot of financial losses, and he has also learnt a lesson that yes, once I cheat somebody, I also get a lot of this one. Then if that is there, then one could even forgive. But the amount is too huge and it is also troubling you so much, then one could consult seniors and through mediation, etc., amicably try to resolve. Still, it is not working. One could again consult seniors and see if one has to go through the legal path. But we have to take a call. How much of a big damage is it, and whether that person is at least sincerely repenting and he has learnt a lesson, then one could always forgive also if it is a small amount.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Dandavat Pranams. Thanks for the wonderful class, Prabhu.
Thank you, Mataji. Prabhuji? Sri Balaji Prabhu, you wanted to?
I think Prasad Krishna also had something.
Okay.
I saw him. Okay, maybe that's one other aspect of when the act of cheating is done, yes, and unfortunately it is between devotees. That's a misfortune, very unfortunate thing. But the bigger problem is when we know, and the news spread like wildfire, like such things when somebody has done, especially when now facing the devotee, our thoughts for that particular devotee, it yes, we should be compassionate, but it's very difficult, right, Prabhuji?
Yes, actually, I was hearing one class on this same verse, and this was actually in Mayapur. So there, one of the senior Prabhupada disciples were asking, as a community, when we get to know somebody has done like this, then what should be our mood like that? So, of course, more the senior a person is who has a capacity to inspire him. The top leaders should always be accommodated, although others may, but little distance or feel this one, because at that time, if that person is repenting, then he needs uh, at least some association of devotees. So some seniors will still accept him. Like even in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastime, we see when Kala Krishna Das, who was with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but during the South Indian tour, he fell prey to beautiful women, the Bhattaharis, and he left Mahaprabhu's company and happily started spending time with the Bhattaharis in the Kerala side. This one, Mahaprabhu had to forcefully pull him by Shika and got him back. And once the South Indian tour was over, he immediately said, "I can't have him anymore." So although he rejected, but Nityanand Prabhu and other devotees, they still gave him shelter, and they gave him some small service. Actually, it was a very big, important service of regularly reporting to Sachi Mata about the activities of Mahaprabhu. So, uh, yes, leaders who are very mature, who can inspire him, and at the same time, uh, who uh, or this one should give shelter. Although in general, others when they get to know, it is natural that based on our level of Krishna consciousness and our faith, it is tough sometimes to accept. But at least we should have some leaders or some appointed people in the community who uh, can give them support during that difficult phase. If the devotee is repentant, if the devotee is not repentant, then very tough actually.
Yes, Prabhuji. It's a very difficult, precarious position also, which means, but at least one punishment should be there just to ensure that, others do not follow that
True.
particular, like how Mahaprabhu removed it from that service. But yes, ensure that he's under the shelter of mature devotees who can handle that situation and obviously correct that devotee also so that it doesn't repeat. Yeah, that's how we are. Yes, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you so much.
Hare
Any
Krishna.
other?
Is this the shortest verse? There is one verse which is very short in Srimad Bhagavatam. Is this the one?
I think one other verse also had
Another verse is there.
one line. Many in fifth canto there are some, quite a few, I think.
I'm not able to remember that, so I thought I'll ask you.
Any other points? Anybody else?
Yeah, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Haridev Krishna Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you for the very nice class, Prabhu. I have one question, Prabhu. I know typically we hear that we can engage everything in the service of the Lord, right? Our senses and thoughts. So, whether this tendency to cheat, can this be engaged in the service of the Lord, Prabhu, so that that can be, positively changed?
Cheating propensity. One can cheat. Of course, Prabhupada also says in the Bhagavatam first canto, where I think Dhritarashtra and Gandhari, without any information, they suddenly leave the palace, and Yudhishthir is lamenting, "Alas, I have been cheated." So in that purport, Prabhupada writes, cheating can be done if the cause is great, like that. So, like sometimes you'll see, even Srila Prabhupada would very intelligently deal with what is that people, and like in that London Ishwar temple DT installation, the person wasn't ready to give the DTs. He said, "I'll fix the some finger was broken or something like that." But Prabhupada brought it like that. So that way, so cheating is okay if it is for Krishna, and that also if there are no other resources available with us, like that. So Prabhupada wanted to start a temple in one place, and so generally the discussion would be that Tamal Krishna Maharaj would go and quote such a low price, and then Prabhupada would say, "No, no, no, it's not at all fair. You're quoting such a low price," and he'll say little bit more, and but actually it would be 1/10 of the actual price that initially that person was quoting. So that is okay, but because it was only for Krishna, it was not for their personal gratification. Because Prabhupada would always say that actually it is not cheating, because others are actually stealing Krishna's property. So from the thief, I am getting it back and giving to government. That cannot be considered cheating, because it is giving it back to Krishna, like that. So, but problem with us is when we try to cheat, if we try to put something into our pocket, and then it is a lot of karma, like that. So that is why first is Vairagya, then Yukta Vairagya. So even one lecture I was hearing Radhesham Prabhu saying, first Sanatan Goswami had Vairagya. And what is the proof that he had Vairagya? Although he had a Paras money in his Bhajan Kutir, he kept it near the dustbin. That means he had complete Vairagya. And because he had complete Vairagya, therefore he could use anything for only Krishna's service. So he could practice Yukta Vairagya, like that. So in our stage, many a times we don't have enough Vairagya. And in the name of Yukta Vairagya, instead of doing it for Krishna, we may end up doing it for our own sense gratification also.
Thank you, Prabhuji. I thought of one scenario where when we do preaching or book distribution, we typically say that please join Krishna consciousness, you will be eternally blissful. Yes, eternally blissful, being eternally blissful is the ideal state, and we being practicing or sadhaka devotees, we are not experience that eternal blissfulness, but still we actually ask others to come and practice. So sometimes I used to think, is it really hypocrisy? On other verse, I used to think, no, it's not a hypocrisy, because we are just following what our acharyas are saying. Maybe I'm not able to experience that. The person who is joining, maybe he may be more advanced. He didn't get an opportunity, and that person may experience better happiness or realization than me. So to that I used to convince. So I thought of seeking clarification.
That is perfectly approved, Prabhuji. We all also initially were told, you come join our sessions, you'll increase your concentration, you'll become very good in studies, and many of them would join these sessions, Bhagavad Gita sessions, and eventually, and so yes, that is cheating for a great cause, where it is only for Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Shall we end, Prabhuji?
If there is any other comments, inputs, or questions? I think there are none, Prabhuji. So we can probably end, Prabhuji. So thank you so much, Prabhuji, for the wonderful class.
Sri Balaji Prabhu, sorry to interrupt. It's not a question. Tomorrow we'll have class at 8 a.m.
8 a.m. Yeah.
Bhakti Prachar Parivrajaka Swami Maharaj will be giving class at the temple. So class will be live telecast from the temple. So it's for the attention of the devotees. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you. Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. In continuation of our last Prabhu says, like mother, giving sweet to the kid to bring her into a proper, to bring the child in proper way. So we have to give some incentives to the devotees to come, non-devotees to come into devotee path, no, Prabhu, in the beginning. Thank you.
The best example is the homeopathic medicines.
Sugar coated.
Sugar coated. Okay. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Thank you so much again. We'll meet tomorrow, as Prabhu said, at 8 o'clock in the morning. Hare Krishna. We end with Vaishnava pranams. Vansha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyach patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavibhyo namo namah. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai, Vaishnava Thakur Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Kanta Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Hare Krishna. I'll end this session for all. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.